Thursday, October 8th. We have been off the air for a few days. Mary and I both were feeling a little under the weather. It was weird. We didn't feel sick or anything. It was just more tired, and I don't know if you can hear it, but my throat was killing me, and hers was messing with hers a little bit as well. We think it's probably just the leaves coming down and the leaf mold in the air. And in Virginia, it can be brutal, and it hasn't rained in a while, so it hasn't tamped down some of the whatever's floating in the air, messing with everybody. But anyway, we're back, and this video is going to address something that apparently a ton of people have a problem with, especially indie authors. And I am not immune to it. This video is about self-promotion. When you're an indie author, you do all your own marketing. You do all your own everything. And one of the hardest things that I have ever been able to do is talk about myself, like talk up about myself, kind of like, look at what I did. I've owned businesses. I've been on stage. I've been in front of the camera. I have filmed for television. I've done all these things, but never, all of those things were more about the product or the other, like with the bakeries, it was about, hey, look at these wedding cakes. The bride really wanted this, and this is what we did. Or look at this birthday cake, man. This kid really loves Star Wars, so we did this. And it was never about like, look how good I am at doing this. It was more like, hey, man, is this what you liked? Is this what you were wanting? I hope she really enjoyed and really loved the cake. It's never been about like me. And when you're an author, I mean, the product's you. You are the product. Your words going onto the page, your characters, your world creation, your imagination. It's all you, I can't, and I struggle with saying, hey, buy my book. I really do. Even with the elves, probably my most popular book is more like I can talk about it with the kids, right? Like with Santa and magic and things like that. Or if I go to a school or somewhere and do a library and do a reading and talk to a class, or even to a high school and talk to students about creative writing, which I've done. I've gone to elementary schools and read in libraries to little kids from the book, and that's been awesome. But I never really felt like it was about me. I just felt like it was more the story, and it was about the magic of childhood and Santa Claus and the elves and all that kind of fun stuff. But I've never been good at just saying, hey, look what I did, buy my thing. Like really bad at it. And apparently that's like, it's a common issue. Apparently a lot of indie authors, they like everything about their job, what they do, but they hate the self-promotion part. And again, I thought it was just me. I thought I was just struggling, especially on social media, because you're like, hey, look at my thing. Would you please buy my thing? That's tough, man. I do not like it at all. I dread it. But I've been following a few channels. I've been looking at a few other indie authors, successful indie authors all over the globe, really. And I saw something recently, and I think it was on iWriterly. They said, instead of feeling like you're talking about yourself, just show everybody how excited you are, right? And it's so much easier, and it made sense, because I am excited. I hadn't really written anything for 10 years, when I sat down and kind of knocked out the first 2 books in the Fate series. And man, it was awesome. It was amazing. I was fortunate enough to have the time to do it. I worked full time doing it. I didn't have to focus on another job or another life. I don't have kids. So I could literally sit there for 12 hours a day and just live in my own little world and write my own little characters, which was awesome. And it's been a little over a year, 2 years now since I did that. And I've had readers go out there and review the books. It's gone through several different passes, and And finally, it's at a stage where like it's ready to go. There's nothing more I could do to it. As far as in my head, I don't really see that there's any more room for adding or editing and removing and killing your darlings and all that kind of fun. So I'm super excited. But it's hard. It was hard to get my head around saying, you know, hey, get this book, get my thing, buy my thing, please buy my thing, please, you know, read my thing, versus just saying, you know, I'm excited. I'm pretty excited. And I'm excited to get feedback from people who haven't read it. I've had plenty of people read it and give me feedback, and I love you all dearly. Thank you. But I'm super excited. So I guess that's what today's video is about, maybe it's a little piece of advice from an indie author to another indie author who's just getting ready to go. This is my 5th or 6th or 7th title coming out. So I have experience with releasing things and selling books and short stories and things like that. But I've never really dived this deep into the indie author world ever. And my advice would be, if you get to this stage, let's just say when you get to the stage, because you'll get there. When you get to this stage, and when you have to go in front of the camera, or when you have to sit down in front of your phone or your PC or your tablet or whatever, and talk about your book and say, hey, it's available, it's for pre-order, I'm doing a cover release or a reveal, whatever. If you start to feel awkward about it, take the advice that I heard, and which I'm hopefully relaying to you now, and just be excited about it. Because other people, your friends and your family and other people that don't even know you, we have a tendency to want to root for each other. Believe it or not. And as crazy as 2020 is, we do. You know, that's why you'll stop and help somebody if they drop something in the grocery store, or just crossing the street, or whatever. It's just instinct to want to help others. And being excited about your product, whatever it is, whether it's a book, it's a whatever, some new pottery that you designed, a new instrument you made, whatever. If you feel awkward, you know, shilling it out there, just kind of relate how excited you are about it. And I find just getting through this video, I'm 7 minutes and 40 seconds in, and it's easier to be able to relate how excited I am about the book than it is to say, hey, it's a really good story and the characters are fun and it's a neat little kind of hybrid vampire / fantasy, blah, versus, hey, I'm pretty excited, this thing's coming out. I haven't written, it had been 10 years since I wrote this thing. I spent a couple years working on it. I had help from friends, family, editors, professionals in the industry, and I'm super excited. And that was a lot easier to say than please buy my book. So yeah, Fate comes out next Friday. I'll have book 1, and then book 2 will come out. I'm shooting for Black Friday, but we'll see what the editors say. Not the editors, that's past that phase right now, but there's so much that goes into it. But anyway, that's today's little video. Hopefully Mary and I will do a couple more. We have a few other things to tell you guys over the weekend, and then gearing up for next week's release. We're doing some cool giveaways, and we've got some other kind of cool projects in the works. So anyway, that's us, that's me, that's today, and that's my little tiny piece of advice, a lesson I learned, and hopefully a lesson I passed on to others. Just be excited. There's nothing wrong with being excited. You worked hard on it. You worked days and nights and hours and weeks and months, and you worked hard. It's okay to be excited about something. That's a nice little lesson.